going to talk to you next. Who has just joined us live in between Italy?
Next guest is an epic eater who's taken on the world's hottest sushi, 180 oysters in one sitting, and an 86-kilogram mega burger. Now, watch out, Italy. He's coming for you next. Adam Richman Eats Italy is coming soon to Food Network UK and Discovery Plus. So if I had one wish, man, it would be to hear a lovely chat with Adam Richman.
Yes!
Thank you.
That was nearly a rap, wasn't it?
That was impressive.
Have you brought any raps in with you today, Rap Man?
I did not. I figured that I needed to sort of jazz things up. But no, I also knew that if I tried to rap in Italian, bad things would occur.
Work. All right. So Richman, you are all over Italy, and when the title of the show is Adam Richman Eats Italy, because of your past, you could probably eat most of it, couldn't you? So, where did you start? How far have you got, and how have you fit us in between the whole filming schedule?
We just wrapped 2 days ago, and we drove it all, which was the best part of it. Started up north in Venice and worked our way across the north and eventually worked our way down to the heel of the boot to Bari. But we literally did Turin, Milano, Parma, and the idea was kind of like we did in Britain, have Bolognese in Bologna, have Pesto Genovese in Genoa, have Focaccia Barese in Bari. And the idea is these are the dishes that if you went to an Italian restaurant in England tonight, you would find tiramisu, but then the idea of going to the place that created it in Venice.
I'm in. I'm already in. When can I watch this show, man?
I think it's early next year on Discovery Plus and Food Network UK. But I mean, like you said, for the first season of this show, going to cheddar for cheddar, going to sandwich for a sandwich.
You've got the best job. I thought I had the best job in the world.
I still think it's pretty great.
Then I thought Paul McCartney had the best job in the world, but I actually think you've got the best job in the world.
We would definitely say with no tush kissery at all involved, we would say, TFI Italy kind of thing like that regularly when we were.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a show, wouldn't it?
When we were, trust me, with the stuff that we got to eat, these little old ladies making tortellini by hand.
I've seen
and
the grannies in the mountains.
Oh, breathtaking.
And so obviously you've got to get on with your crew, and you've eaten the UK. Thank you for eating the UK. It was a great show last year.
Thank you.
By the way, we've never had a guest on so ahead of their project to talk about it. It's lovely to have you here. You can't watch the show. It's not even finished, so you can't watch it. You can watch it sometime in the future, probably 2026, early 2026.
Yeah, I think late January.
It'll be on the Food Network, Discovery Plus. You can still watch. I mean, you can watch everything now forever, can't you? So we can still watch.
The first 2 seasons, Adam Richman Eats Britain and Adam Richman Eats Football, are on Discovery Plus.
Yeah, which is great. So clearly it's worked. Otherwise, they wouldn't send you to Italy because it's more expensive than sending you here. It's clearly you get on with the crew because you can't do shows like this unless you all get on, because everybody ends up hating each other and they'd rather be at home.
Right. I mean, we've changed crews, but it is true. You have to become family, and especially when you're driving everything, because you're right on top of each other all the time.
And it's on the fly. Everything is on the fly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you work in a language barrier, unfortunately, I had begun studying Italian before I went and started speaking a bit there and got better at it when I was there.
You sound like you might be an old wise guy with Italian heritage.
I definitely look it. I mean, the dark features and the chest hair, but it's it's a fine jump from Brooklyn Jew to Italian. But everyone would go, "Oh, sei italiano?" See, I'm like, no, sono americano, ma adesso
so
abito
even they
Bronx.
thought you had some Italian going on.
I mean, I definitely, it's I'm not Italian, but I play one on TV. And also because I love food. And apparently there's a very popular chef in Italy, a TV chef, who does their version of Top Chef, named Antonino Cannavacciuolo, and people said we looked alike.
But even your pronunciation of his surname there, that just trips off your tongue, man.
Well, thank you. I did a post on Instagram and I had to learn how to say it properly, but I had to say, molti italiani mi dicono che assomiglio allo chef Antonino Cannavacciuolo.
Round of applause for that.
Thank you. Thank
you so much. How would you... That would just frighten me.
Grazie a lei, grazie.
I would just have to take the day off not to say that.
Some of the things definitely make your head spin. You go to the breakfast at the hotel and scrambled eggs are uovo strapazzate. And you're like, wait a minute. Just scrambled eggs, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the other thing too, is you don't want to get overindulgent in the poetry, and remember that someone in Bolton or someone in Brooklyn are going to be watching the show and they just want a real good pasta sauce, dude.
Bolton to Brooklyn. There's a show for you.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. And the thing about, I used to think that I loved Italy, and then me and my then girlfriend Susie, we went on holiday to Italy because we loved Italy, and then we went off the beaten track. We went to stay in a village in Italy, and after about 5 minutes, we realised that we didn't like Italy. We liked Italian restaurants in London.
And it's a very clear distinction.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things to adjust to. Certain things I love, like public sinks that you turn on with your feet. There's like foot pedals, like for cleanliness. But then there are other things that, it's like... Yeah, I miss this about England, or I miss this about America. And to be fair, right? Like, I'm thinking Italian food, their sauce is going to have like 15 ingredients. I'll have 6.
Yeah, but it's what the ingredients are and where they're from, isn't
Exactly.
it? That's the difference.
The quality of it, and it's like time, temperature, talent is what I like the
very
most.
Good. Time, temperature, talent.
That was like the big thing, that the same, like cacio e pepe, the most popular pasta dish in Rome. It says what's the expression you lot have? Does what says on the tin?
It does what it says on the tin.
And it's like cheese and pepper is literally what it means. And it's cheese, pepper, pasta water. And so Tony Bourdain was my mentor, and I went to a place. So it was emotional because the last time I hung out with Tony was we were both filming in Rome. And so to go to a place that he had recommended to me to film, sitting at that same table and with the same chef and doing cacio e pepe, and he's like, questo semplice ma difficile. He's like, it's simple, but the simplicity is what makes it difficult. And then realizing that that's the thing, that it is that time, temperature, and talent difference.
I love that. I love everything you just said. I want to ask you more about Antonio Bourdain. You were mates with him. You were friends with him. Yeah. What did you learn from him? Give us the highlights of knowing him.
Man, I guess one thing is... forcing yourself to be affected by less, otherwise, quote unquote, you risk getting nibbled to death by ducks. Right. And so he knew that my show was really polarizing, and people would say things to me like, you're at the top of my office death pool, or making comments about my weight. And he was like saying, you have to understand that there is a certain percentage of society that will root against you, that is watching what you do with a degree of maybe like malevolent intent or whatever.
Self-hatred.
And he was just saying that, he referenced things in his own life. And he said, it's like if you see the pothole while riding a bike, you'll hit the pothole. You just got to keep your eye on the 100%. Road. But also Tony's big thing, and having him and Andrew Zimmern as mentors, the big thing was, it's the humility of where you are. That if you're in Brazil, it's not about imposing like, I'm this American TV food celebrity and now you just happen to see me in this context. It's about being deferential and humble, and having a lot of humility and appreciation, and going like, I may not like this dish, this thing may not be the way I would cook it, or it may not be my sanitary standards, but for these people, this is their way of life.
Yeah, this is visitor.
Right. And it was about that humility, about doing more work than you think you're ever going to use on camera. Like, you never can police yourself while doing research. Like, they probably won't use it. No, do that research, because you never know. That one thing you mispronounce, that one thing you properly pronounce is going to be a huge factor.
And if you get it wrong, hold your hand up.
Amen. And so that was the other thing too. I mean, Tony taught me, especially about Rome, that it exists kind of in the zeit of everyone's imagination, and you can't ignore that. So you have to sort of acknowledge that and then go yes and, not no but. Not like you're wrong. Everything you thought about Rome is wrong. It can't be. That it's that. It is the Colosseum, and it is the Spanish Steps and throwing coins over your shoulder in the Trevi, but it's also these cheese producers, and it's also this street food, and it's also these other cultures that have settled there, and the legacy of World War II. And so it's important. And to understand that there are people alive that, were alive during Mussolini's reign and during Berlusconi, and just trying to go, all right, how do I present Italy in a fun way in a 22.5-minute show that isn't preachy but is authentically Italian? as an American.
And we've all got our preconceived ideas of Italy or wherever else. Yeah, we don't know our own back garden. So literally, we've got quite a small garden, but I don't know every corner of it. Yeah, you presume you know what Italy is. It's a preposterous thing if you think about it, isn't it? It's so crazy, isn't it?
It is, and they eat so well. I mean, that's the thing. My crew and I, we initially were like, let's weigh ourselves now in the beginning and then weigh ourselves at the end. We're like, terrible idea.
Let's not do that.
Definitely
I've just had a redo
not.
on my bathroom, and the thing I haven't put back in there, the only thing I haven't put back in there is the bathroom scales.
Is that right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's very hard not to. Like I went from like occasionally having wine, like when I would having wine with dinner and we would go out as a crew, and you'd think like, oh, we've been filming pasta, we're filming steaks, we're filming all these things. Let's just keep it kind of light. No, absolutely not.
All right, so you drive around in the same vehicle?
Yeah. There were two vehicles. One
funky vehicles we can talk about, or
vans. I mean vans. So
classic vans.
If only like if they were like tricked out like a Trans Am album cover, but no, it was or Fu Manchu, I guess, right? Yeah. They had the one about
Scooby-Doo.
Yes, exactly, like the mystery van. So our director of photography and our soundie drove from Liverpool to Italy, and so they were using their vehicle the whole time. The rest of us were using a rental. I'll tell you this: one thing I wish I could have filmed. Dead honest. The roadside food in Italy is superior to roadside food everywhere in the world. They have a place called, it's spelled Autogrill. They pronounce it Autogrill. And they literally have full restaurant quality food. And they actually are like bridges over the highway. So you sit in the dining room while cars are like underneath you.
Different emphasis, isn't it, on life?
Spectacular.
Life first, everything else second.
I think it is those moments, exactly as you say, that it is about abbondanza, about the indulgence. Drink the wine, kiss the girl, eat the cheese, ride the Vespa.
Easier in the sunshine.
Yes.
It does help. I mean, that is I am not a moody, murky, moaning Brit, but it is easier in the sunshine.
Yeah, I mean, it gets plenty rainy, plenty cold up in Turin. We were talking because you're a car guy, I'm a car guy. And Turin is like the automotive hub. There's Lancia, which is a brand I'm not even familiar with. Fiat Pandas, left, right, and center. But one thing that I'd forgotten about is mosquitoes. People don't tell you how many mosquitoes there are all over Italy, especially the hotel GM said to us in Florence, he's like, yeah, mosquitoes are like lettuce. We always have it. Yeah. And the mosquitoes are rough.
But you talk about Florence just straight away there, Florence and Siena and Rome, because everybody talks about Rome, but there's all the towns and the villages that literally all roads lead to Rome. And it's like a real life magical mystery tour. It's like Hollywood couldn't even dream what Italy is in some places.
It does. It exists in your imagination, and it's also those things like they're called caruggi. They're like the little wending alleyways in Genoa,
all cobble.
And it's a port city.
Yeah.
Bari has these cities with these little archways, and you're not sure if you're in someone's yard or not. Parma is this like breathtaking place that has it's got all like the opera houses and these beautiful squares, and realizing the role that Garibaldi had when he sort of united all these different regions, and realizing how much ferocious pride and identity there is. So we just filmed in Puglia and in Bari, and they're like, we're the best olives, we're the best wheat, we have the best grapes. And then all of a sudden you have Tuscany saying, no, we've got the great wines, we've got we have the Brunello and
Joy Wars.
Yes,
it's Joy Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
it's how can you mouth pleasure each other?
Absolutely.
All right, top 3 things you ate in Italy.
That is a great question. Oof, just off the top of my head, I'm sure it will change. Spaghetti alla assassina in Bari. They cook this tomato sauce right into the noodles, and then they get crispy, and then you can order it with stracciatelle, the cheese stretched over it, and it's like crispy, toothsome. So that was excellent. I would say I had a pumpkin lasagna at a place in Milan that's known for their fried chicken, which I found okay, like capable, but not necessarily my favorite. But the pumpkin lasagna was fantastic. I didn't realize and just really quick.
You're getting excited now, aren't you?
Yeah. Quick minor details. Yeah, I'm sorry. You better cover my nipples on camera. But no, you know what the thing is? The way the Italians speak about food. This guy who owns a salumeria in Parma said, "Adam, pumpkin is a drug." And it was like, fresh pumpkin is like a drug. Yeah. Someone else said, "Adam, there is no recipe. There is only life." I would say, and the carbonara at a place in Rome called Rossioli on Via della Giubanari. It's like 75 yards away from where Julius Caesar was stabbed. And I was like, hopefully he got a chance to eat here.
Because there's the script, but then there's how you tell the story.
Yes, sir.
They're very good storytellers, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's the gestalt of it all. Yeah. Oh, the hand gestures. So, for example, this means it's really tasty. This is molto buono. This is why you're talking to me. Like, don't bother me with it. This one can be smart, but it's also cheeky and maybe a little bit shady. So you could like do this. And there's like all these little, cut it out or we need to leave. There's like all these little, even things like if you really like something, you say, "Sto toccando il cielo con un dito," which means I am touching the sky with one finger.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. What else would you be doing?
I'm offering to pick God's nose for him, that kind of thing. One dessert to go.
Oh, a dessert to go. Oh my word! I had a tiramisu. I had a tiramisu. Can I tell you, Venice blew me away with food and with being, all Venice-y. But Venice was incredible. We had a tiramisu. Having had it at the place in Treviso where it was created. We went to this little teeny trattoria owned by family next to a tiny Brit. I mean, you would never find this place if we hadn't done the research, but it's a place called Trattoria alla Rivetta in Venice, and family-owned, young guys hustling. They get all their produce from the lagoon 100 yards away, and their tiramisu is proof God loves us and wants us to be happy.
Tiramisu is probably my favorite dessert on the planet, and there are so many different ones. You can get a tray bake, you can get you can get it sliced up, you can slice and dice, you can get pots, you can get pans, you can get all different kinds of tiramisu. You get soft, you can get hard, you can get dry, you can get liquid. It's
spectacular. Great crisps. The crisps there are fantastic. And in fact, the gelato, I went back. That was a cool thing. The Food Network let me do this. There were two places I went in my own life that I really desperately wanted to point a camera at because I think they deserved it and they meant a lot to me personally. And there's a place in Rome called Come il Latte. And my camera guy on my old show had found it. And it was a hard shoot. I don't want to get emotional. I had a loss in my family, and we had to go film. I was away from my family because I had to work. And this gelato place called Come il Latte, and it tastes like love. It's remarkable.
Tastes like love. What's the most important ingredient? Love.
Amen.
You're great, man.
You're great, man.
He's come on to promote a show that isn't even finished yet. Let's just hear it for Adam as far as that's concerned. We've never had a guest on so soon before a show because it's not finished yet. Adam Richman Eats Italy. Adam Richman Eats Football is available now on the Food Network, Discovery Plus. Adam Richman Eats Great Britain. Adam, you can eat that microphone anytime you darn well like, mate.
Thank you, brother. Love you so much.
You're
Good to be back.
Cheers.